It's Wednesday night, and you know what that means. It's time for Fuck Alabama.
Well, there's the one F-bomb for the day on the Jeff Meacher Network side of things.
I am wildly frustrated with how Saturday went.
I couldn't tell. We could be back after a couple
and we'll
weeks.
Get into it when we get into the show, but I figured I needed that kind of a cold open.
I've been gone for 2 weeks, and the first thing I hear is "fuck Alabama." Cool. Okay. Very good.
I mean, I've been saying it for the last 10 years, but who knows?
Well, yeah, you know, it's just we've been over on the dad side of things. We've been kissing that Conrad Thompson ass. So much for that today.
I don't care.
I know.
Listen, I don't have a deal with Conrad. I don't have a podcast with Conrad yet, so I didn't even tell him that. It's like, I'm an Irish fan. Fuck the Crimson Tide.
I don't either, but it's just like, yeah, Alabama just pissed everybody off this weekend, so the hell with it. And yes,
we'll
Josh,
get into that
when
we talk about football.
Thank you, Josh. Good to be back. And JJ, always a pleasure to have you along for the ride, my friend. Actually, JJ, while you're watching, there is a discussion going on in the NoDQ group chat about a Beatles panel. And Aaron asked the room, and I said, well, I'm no expert, but there is a guy that does know things. So don't be surprised if you get a message going your way. Anyway.
I'm surprised I don't get a message. I grew up with the Beatles.
I didn't know this. Had I known this, I would have definitely sent you along for the ride as well. But, you know, we'll see.
It's okay. Anyway, on today's show, not like we didn't start with it already, sports discussion.
Yeah, a little bit.
We're gonna delve into my open to the show. I also want to talk a little bit about the tournament because like I'm sure you're caught up with the episodes that have aired thus far. Am I correct with that? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Which we haven't had a air since the Friday episode, but you weren't on Friday, so I do want to talk about with you. Weird Hawaii laws, there aren't a ton of them, so that's nice. And of course, the Wednesday Q&A. Before we get to what's on today's show, though, Brett Storm, as he does every week, donated, and I don't think he'll be in chat, but if he does end up in chat, then thank you, Brett, for that. And even if he watches this after the fact, thank you, Brett.
Exactly.
But he says sending this in before the show as he has been quite busy and he's going to be asleep when the show's happening. It's UK time. It makes sense.
Yes.
So I'm going to spin the wheel and I'll say what he wanted after the fact because he already listed what he wanted. So I'm going to do the Jeff knows because I told him.
Well, I'm only laughing because I'm thinking maybe we should do the blackjack entrance if we do get entrance, but it's a pretty simple thing. You just walk and look surly, so maybe not.
Yeah, that one's not as detailed.
No.
Could
Bobby Heenan, which is always great.
Yeah, could always do the new blackjack entrance, and it's pretty much the same thing.
Except more jobberish. Hey,
poor Bradshaw.
And poor Barry. Let's not sell Barry short either. You know,
they did okay the rest of their careers, but their new blackjacks thing did not do well.
Yeah. Oof.
All right, so Brett, even though you're not on, here's your spin.
I mean, Barry held the big gold version of this for crying out loud before blackjack. So there you go.
Yeah.
Which is
oh no!
Oh Jesus Christ! This is why Chip just participated in the wheel spins no more, kids. Right there.
I didn't expect it to happen this soon.
Ah, shit.
All right. Let me cue up the Body Donna music.
Well, I mean, do you want to do it now? You want to do it at the end when you're all revved up from the Crimson Tide?
I'm gonna do it now, and then I'll be exhausted the rest of the show, and you'll have to continue the show on when I pass out and need oxygen. But it's okay. I mean, he paid for it, and it's going to happen.
I mean, having me carry out for 2 weeks, but okay, sure. I've done the first 19 years, but okay. I'm used to carrying coals. It's okay. Right, that's right. That was out loud. I said what I said. Drag off. Not you, JJ. Love you, brother. Or you either, Lee, if you're watching, which I doubt you are.
I'm also going to text my wife, wonder what the hell is going on upstairs.
That's right, because you're upstairs and that the noise in that house carries, kids. Especially if you got jumping jacks going on the upper level. It'll be a big what the hell. I corrected I said you weren't included in that, JJ. Don't be hating me. See, the freaking live delay's a bitch.
Yeah, something like that. All right, I guess I got to full screen myself and fix all this.
Yes, please take me out because you'll probably find me on the floor laughing about the whole thing.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Because I'm that big a dick. Need me to come in for band during the jumping jacks? No, JJ, I was gonna get back and watch the whole thing. Don't mind me. Here, let's go ahead and give Greg a solo shot here. There we go. There he goes.
Yeah, appreciate it. Oh boy.
Wearing the No D Crew shirt after an Alabama prosperous weekend. He's gonna hate everything about everything today.
Thanks, Marie Calendars. All right. Anyway.
Right. I was sorry about that, by the way, when you're done doing that.
Well, I'm glad you got the reference because otherwise it would have just been lost.
It's surprising how much. But anyway, go ahead. Yeah.
All right. Here we go.
It's legit Body Dyna's music. I love this. This is the best part.
For you, Candido.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. Keep going, brother. You got this. The part is the beat of the music has to count with you, so you're good to go. 40.
We're halfway done. The calves are burning.
You got it, brother. You're good. $50. No, JJ, we can't use Simon in. We actually want to get viewers. Okay, 50. Take a break. Yeah, JJ, we want to get. Yeah, JJ, if we get Simon Dean, we'll actually lose viewers that way. Noah's a freaking charisma suck outside of the Nova gimmick. He's like freaking Charles Wright pre-Godfather. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I'm only gonna be able to do like 10 at a time.
9, 50, 60. Yeah, 60. You're good. That's all right. It's all right.
Trying. Gonna start the music over because I'm gonna run out of time. That's 65.
Oh, 65. Okay, I lost 5 there. We're talking. My bad.
Damn it, Brett. People just tuning in have no idea what's going on.
4. There's 70. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 80. You good, brother? You good? You got this.
Note to self, stretch for before the show next time.
Yes, always stretch for your exercise, kids at home. If you're watching at home, there you go. That's right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 90. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 100. Holy moly. Goodness. Oofa. You know, I'll tell you what, the commitment to put it on the wheel, first of all, is ballsy enough. I would not do that on any of my shows, even if I had a tag partner to ridicule and count along and just laugh, like I am because I'm a dick. But I wouldn't do it anyway, just because I don't have that kind of commitment, and I applaud you for that. So, yeah. But, yeah, you're got like great comments. I'll tell you what. So let's see what we got here. Let's see here. Yeah.
Somebody's going to make me spin the wheel again. I'll land on it twice.
Yeah. Josh actually wanted you to bitch about Alabama while you were doing that. So that would have been even more of a – we would have had to censor the entire rest of the hour at that point. So Josh sent Hail Marys your way while you were doing that. 1 Hail Mary for every 10 jumping jacks. So you got 10 Hail Marys there. So kind of like football teams could have used this weekend and Saturday and Sunday for sure. Hail Marys would have been a thing. Dan said feel the burn, Greg, and Josh gave you a woot at the end. So there you go. 100 jumping jacks. Kind of wow. Again, that was incredible. I'm proud that you did that, brother. Good on you, man.
Still better than push-ups.
Well, yeah, because you know what? It's funny. People don't realize how difficult push-ups are, especially for guys that have the heavy below where the push-ups are. Like if you're middle or bottom heavy, those are a literal pain in the gut and definitely a pain in the ass. But
I thought about fixing my camera, but fuck it. I'm leaving it alone.
Yeah, screw it at this point. I mean, really.
So sports.
So for those of you who missed,
not in the shape to do.
Well,
If somebody donated again, I'm gonna kick them. Not really, because my legs hurt.
Doing those little cripple kicks, like where you just barely get your foot off the ground.
Somebody's gonna donate to me, be like, "Do it again."
You're a
Which I
genius,
would,
do it again. Yeah, that's it.
All right, we're
Yeah,
gonna
Josh.
talk about.
Josh, that's everybody I know, including me. So yeah, weight gain is murder on the actual like exercise type stuff, unless you're doing weights or just even running in place is a bitch, you know. So anyway, sports. So yes, college football, the rankings. I mean, we're heading to the playoffs. Here we go. You know, New Year's Day is the big day for all those things. So
yeah,
Alabama's got their spot, as they do.
Of course they do. It makes no sense to me though.
I know
it makes no sense. I'm not saying they don't deserve the number one spot after whooping Georgia, because I didn't think anybody was beating Georgia this year.
No.
But it makes no sense that they took damn near all of regulation to score one touchdown against Auburn, yet here they come driving down the field on the best defense in college football. What?
It's one of those where I didn't want to listen to this week's What Happened When, because it would have been Tony bitching and Conrad marching down the studio field.
Oh yeah, because Tony's a Georgia fan, isn't he?
Shivani's a Georgia. No, he's baseball, not football. But yeah, he calls their games at Georgia. I just know. I'm pretty sure it's baseball, not football. But anyway, yeah, it was definitely a long Wednesday. I'm sure. Actually, it was on this morning, so I'll check it out and see if he actually did anything or not. But yeah, I'm sure Tony wasn't happy. Diamond's gonna be fun if he's in a surly mood. You know how Tony is when he gets surly. So
yeah. So Alabama beat Georgia, and that was really the one game that Notre Dame needed Georgia to win in order to make the playoffs. Right. I mean, if Michigan would have lost, which they were in no danger of against Iowa, then they probably could have slid into the fourth spot. But as it stands, the top four: Alabama, Michigan, Georgia, and Cincinnati. And if Alabama and Michigan is the national championship game, I expect me come that Monday night to be hurling for a good 3 or 4 hours, because F both those teams.
Let me just say this. If the game is on that Monday, then I'll try my best to still be drunk from a little bit of the bubbly from the anniversary show 2 days later, because God, that's gonna be horrible. You know what? I will never root for that team up north ever. I'm so sick of Alabama. So let's go Bulldogs. And honestly, from my vantage point, let's go Cincinnati. I mean, really,
let's go Cincinnati, because then at least Cincinnati's or Notre Dame's one loss will be to the national champions. I can live with that.
I'd be okay with that, but because of hometown reasons. But
and Notre Dame has Oklahoma State in the Fiesta Bowl, so that one should be fun.
Oof! Wait, Oklahoma State?
Oklahoma State, yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say, college football, right? Exactly. Terrible.
I don't know about that.
Well,
have you watched the NFL games?
Well, but
of course, this NFL season, who the hell knows what's happening?
I was gonna say the weeks just get weirder and weirder. Freaking Detroit won. That's the sentence. Detroit won.
Detroit won against Minnesota, who the Steelers play tomorrow night. Of course, we know how the Steelers game with Detroit went, so I don't exactly have my hopes up.
And what's so sad is Detroit won, and it didn't amount to shit, because they're out of there. They're officially eliminated, as far as I know. So.
Yeah, Detroit had no chance of making the playoffs, but kind of played a little bit of spoiler to the Vikings.
Yeah, that makes them have to work even harder against you guys now, which is always an adventure. It'll be fun come Tuesday, because your team is playing Mikey's roommate's team tomorrow night. So Tuesday's show will be interesting one way or the other, and then next week, of course, will be interesting as well. So should be a fun week if it doesn't get any weirder, which I just said that, so it probably will. But
yeah, like you said, we didn't get to talk about the Cowboys Thanksgiving game, did we?
No, I wasn't on the show that day. The following week, I forgot, what was I doing? Oh, I had an appointment with Dylan the following week. That's why I wasn't there. Yeah, it's Cowboys just are the Jeff Meacham of the NFL. They're very inconsistent. They can't seem to stay on course one way or the other. So, I wouldn't mind going to that game, actually. That'd be a fun game to go to since it's close. But again, that's expensive as hell. And I'm going to be
Yeah,
drunk
Ohio
come 3
State's
o'clock
gonna
anyway.
wipe the
So
floor with Iowa.
yeah,
Uh,
exactly. The fact Ohio State's playing here in Southern California in a Rose Bowl game, that would be awesome. But I have a show going on at noon that day, my anniversary show. So yeah. They are. It's just like I said, they're inconsistent. So
They beat the Saints.
they did. They did, but they shouldn't have lost on Thanksgiving. That shouldn't have been a loss at all.
Where is the Washington football team coming from?
They're like Mikey. I forgot where Mikey had them in the rankings, but they're ranked like high, like as far as power rankings and as far as playoff scenarios.
They were only like one spot out of the power rankings behind Pittsburgh.
Yeah, according to Mikey,
I mean, the football team's 6-6, aren't they?
Yeah. There's something like they are Washington. Yeah, 6-6. They're even Steven right now. They are, as far as Mikey's playoff. I mean, if you go by the playoff scenarios right now, they're sixth in the NFC.
Jeez.
You know, like they'll be in the wild card game. Yeah, but still, freaking crazy.
And a very, very Steelers Ravens game, because that's exactly what that series is.
That's exactly what that was. Yes. Exactly.
And I laughed my ass off for a good 15 minutes after that game because of Harbaugh's decision to go for 2. And everybody was saying, it's like, oh, well, it's tragic. He's tried to win the game. You have the best kicker in NFL history, the most accurate kicker. Go for the tie. He's like, oh, I didn't want to, I was worried about my defense. Well, win the coin toss then and go to overtime.
Seriously.
Like Harbaugh, like obviously I'm happy of the result, but man, if you're going to be in that position, go for the tie and like either try and hold on for the tie or go for the win in overtime. Like, don't put your team in a position where you have to get an onside kick and like rely on Tucker then.
Yeah.
You might have been able to pull a 60-yard field goal a few weeks ago, but you're not going to do it at Heinz Field. You're not going to.
Where is the?
This guy. I forgot to put it in
because
I was too busy doing jumping jacks.
Feeks. Right? Is it the right one?
Hold on, I got it.
You mean up in the room? Okay. For some reason I had this epiphany last week. I knew we were going to talk about the Ravens game. Harbaugh coaches in Baltimore, right?
Yeah. And
we've been on their ass since last year's COVID bullshit protocol botches or whatever. Where does his brother coach?
Michigan.
Yeah, exactly. So,
for the
rest.
I root against the Harbaugh family on principle, and Josh said the same thing.
Yeah, piss on them for exactly.
Because he's a Browns and Ohio State fan, and his allegiances are against Baltimore and Michigan. So it's like Josh and I can agree on football in that aspect. We're perfectly fine agreeing on that aspect.
As far as college, as long as he's there, he's just further painted with a horrible brush. Just the fact he's a flipping asshole. Just the fact that he's coaching there. Professionally, again, didn't have a real problem at Baltimore other than basic division stuff until last year and their bullshit. So
they still never got penalized for that.
I know. And I will always remember that because they got away with it. And Denver had to play whatever it is, their fourth string safety, whatever the hell, in a game. It's like, huh? So it just,
I don't know if
they're on the shit list for a while.
I don't know did Aaron Rodgers get punished for his COVID stuff? Because I know he sat out a game or something.
He sat a game. As far as
the league is so inconsistent with their punishments. Like, have something across the board. Don't do a case by case basis. Figure it out, Goodell. Yeah. Or get out of there and find somebody who will.
As far as I know, as far as I know, Aaron wasn't fined. But I don't quote me out there. If you know more than I do, please provide information because I honestly don't think so. But as far as I know, okay. Well, Josh saying he did get fined. Okay, well, Josh saying he did, but Curtis said he wasn't punished. So we don't know. Okay, cool.
And the news out of the NFL is inconsistent. I don't know.
That's right.
Nobody
our
knows.
sources are consistent. That can't be good in wrestling journalism. Wait a minute.
It's not a knock on either of you two guys.
Nope, it's not. 14,000. Well, that seems like a pretty definitive number if that's the case. Jesus. 14K is a large.
I've seen people get hit with more money for less.
Well,
just look at any of the Steelers fines.
Yeah, they're trying so, I think, well, I think they should. They're trying to discourage, this COVID stuff. I mean, put it this way. Like I was telling you off air, we were sitting out there in the cold last night, outside watching Dylan's winter concert, because this is the first time that any of the schools in our area have had something for the parents to come do, where we can actually be there on site, because this pandemic has been such a pain in the ass. And, they couldn't have this in the NPR. The band kids don't even have the use of their own classroom right now. They're practicing outside, freaking sheet music blowing everywhere in the wind. There's rain and stuff. And because they can't have instruments be blown inside because reasons. So it's, it should be. And again, we're not going to get too political. You can buy the shirt at Greg Cherry brand on Teespring or Spring, whatever the hell it's called these days. But we had a judge go against Biden's request for a federal across the board mandate. And it's like, that's why we're going to be sitting here like this for a while, folks, because we can't agree. I'm not saying the judge is right or Biden's right. We just can't freaking agree. And that's why we're sitting here, having to have these freaking masks at our disposal when we go out the front door. Because we can't get our shit together.
It's one of those things where, again, politics is a work. But if I'm going to delve into it a little bit, it's because people don't want to give up their side. They don't want to give up their side of the argument because they would rather be right than work together for a compromise, which is the biggest frustration I have. Well, one of the biggest frustrations. Let's face it. My frustrations with the political system could fill up a year's worth of the show. At least.
Yes.
I don't
understand. 2020 season.
Hey, listen, I'm old enough to be president now. Vote for me.
Right. I was old enough 3 years ago, sickeningly enough, almost 4 now. But don't vote for me. Please don't put me in that position. Rock can do it. Dwayne can do it for real. Please put him there. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, he'll rock bottom anybody who gets in his way, which would probably bring some entertainment to politics.
That's right. He will be the only person, if he gets that job, that'll have taken more stunners than that entire McMahon family and the last president combined. Just saying. You think about it. For the record, Aaron was fined 14 and a half or 14.6, as was Allen. But the Packers themselves got fined 300, which I think, again, I agree with Curtis. That's not enough. If they're gonna make it a thing where you have to, have the proper protocols and have to be, up to snuff to play, and you don't do that. And if you're Aaron Rodgers, who is for better or for worse, a spokesman or a representative of the entire league, not just your team, you gotta freaking slap more than his. You gotta freaking cut his wrist off at the source. All right, seriously. I mean, you gotta make that guy know that these freaking State Farm commercials, you guys start making more of them to pay the piper there, buddy.
Yeah, and he does enough commercial work and all that stuff. Him and Mahomes both. They make decent enough money that they can afford stuff like that, because it really doesn't cut into their NFL pay that terribly.
No, and Josh brought this up on Monday during my after dark segment, like a better term. Can this actually become a thing? Like Rodgers playing in the black and gold? Like that sounds weird.
This has been something that has been teased really since the beginning of the season. Yeah. Especially with all the Aaron Rodgers drama that happened with Green Bay, for them to even get him to sign a 1-year extension.
I know, seriously.
There was talk that once Roethlisberger was done, that Tomlin wants to bring in a veteran quarterback because he doesn't want to start with a rookie. Right. I can understand that in some aspects, but at the same time, you have to build towards the future. And Rodgers been in the league a pretty damn long time himself.
Yeah.
So, I mean, really, if you get a guy like Aaron Rodgers, not that you couldn't have done this with Ben Roethlisberger, but you have to build an offensive line around him so that he can be the Aaron Rodgers that he is.
Yep.
Whether or not this comes to fruition is complete speculation at this point. There is a lot of hype behind it because Rodgers went on. I saw that report over the weekend.
Yeah.
There has been talk about Rodgers going to the black and gold. I mean, they talked about it on the Pat McAfee show because Rodgers does a segment there every Tuesday.
Right.
So it has been thrown around. There's nothing concrete. There's nothing saying he's going to come to Pittsburgh. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. It's still a long season. We don't know. Will the Steelers trade draft picks for Rodgers? I guess if Rodgers a free agent, then it doesn't really matter.
No.
But I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Aaron, he only signed a 1-year extension, so I don't know if he's a free agent or a UFA. That's the difference. Is there restriction on that? That's the key in any sort of sport. So, is there conditions? I actually recommend, like I said, I was not a fan of Pat McAfee as a NFL player. He's grown on me like a fungus as a commentator, but his podcast is entertaining as hell.
Oh,
so I'm okay with it.
Here's the thing, Josh. It's a bunch of Pittsburgh guys doing it. Like their fandom's all over the place, but it's a bunch of Ginzers. So if you really want,
yeah,
I enjoy it for reasons. But there's that.
We got to get Corey Graver in the studio just one time. That's all I ask. It's just make it happen.
Tevin, thank you very much for the donation. $1. So no wheel spin, but the donation.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, I'll send her a pray for you. The Hail Mary myself.
I swear, if it lands on 100 jumping jacks again, if somebody donates $5, I'm gonna do them. I'm just going to suffer.
Explode in the suffocate. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, but Tevin says, do you guys think it's wise to start collecting former or recently released superstar action figures? This would honestly be a question for Sean Rossap,
right?
Because he's a figure guy. Like he likes going to that store, Toy Vomit, I believe in Kentucky somewhere.
Oh yeah.
So he's the collector that I would probably ask about that.
Yeah.
It's not me. Right. Yeah, I have some wrestling figures, but I haven't collected wrestling figures in a long, long time. So I'm not the right person to ask.
Yeah, if you'd asked me when I first went in with JJ, that would have been, I would have known. Actually, the guy to ask besides Sean is the guy who we saw holding this up at the end of Saturday's pay-per-view, Matt Cardona and his buddy Brian Myers. Those guys are all over the toy, not just wrestling toys, the toy market, period. Again, we're not going to give Matt too much credit, at least on my end, because he caused Aaron and my freaking cue ball miss 5 years ago at WrestleMania. Only dropped to the Miz the next day, the schmuck. But I love his reinvention. I'm just going to say that right now. I love that he's not the idiotic woo dude anymore. I love that he and Chelsea have both got legit, like, all right, we start being taken seriously. We're going to start acting like we need to be taken seriously. So good on them. Good on Mike Knox for getting the world title shot out of the freaking clear blue sky. Like, Jesus, he attacks Murdoch at the pay-per-view at the anniversary, and then, in Tennessee, after the anniversary, and all of a sudden he's getting a world title shot on pay-per-view. Okay, cool. So, I mean, good on these people that we think we have heard the last of, and they resurface. So, I'm telling you guys, like people, Aaron especially just bugs me with this, but don't sleep on this or the brand. The WWE is going to keep treading water, keep doing their thing, and be okay with the ratings or the shares or whatever going down. And AEW seems to have plateaued to a certain extent. People like Impact, people like NWA, people like Ring of Honor when they return after the first quarter. Telling you, it's going to be a whole new game come WrestleMania season.
Yeah, I think that's really what we should judge how the wrestling world is going to be after like the first true WrestleMania with fans. I know this past year had some fans, but it wasn't really back to form until Money in the Bank, really.
Right. And they're doing 2 nights again this year, so.
Yeah, which is nice. I like the 2-night WrestleMania. I think that's going to be what they keep from here on out, which is wonderful. I love the 2-night WrestleMania because you don't get burnt out after 2 nights. Like you get 3 hours here, 3 or 4 hours here, and then 3 or 4 hours the next night. You don't get an 8-hour long pay-per-view because, good God, nobody wants to sit through that.
My stamina and my burnout is grateful. My pocketbook's going to suck. Because when it comes here in 2023, that means 2 nights at the new stadium in Inglewood. We're gonna be broke all over again, like for real. Because you got 2 nights, Hall of Fame in theory if they have fans back, probably SmackDown. Crypto.com arena. God, I hate getting used to saying that bullshit. The Crypt. We're gonna have Hall of Fame at the Crypt, which is ironic given old guys. And then I'm assuming SmackDown and Raw also be at that arena. So you're looking at 5-6 nights of no more money till summer.
Pretty much.
But it is my 40th, so we gotta go all out, right? So, but this year, God, I can't. There you go. I can't imagine the cost it's going to be in Texas. I mean, everything's bigger in Texas. Legit, it's going to be an ugly, ugly pocketbook dip for everybody going. God bless you guys for doing it.
Especially because it's going to be back in AT&T. So
that's what I'm saying. They're going to have Mania in Arlington for 2 nights. You know, they're going to probably have the rest of the shows at wherever the stars play. I forget the name. American Airlines, whatever the hell version it is. Because there's one in Miami, there's one in Dallas. I can't remember which the hell's one is which, but whichever one's in Dallas, they'll probably have the other 3 shows there. You know they're gonna Supercard of Honor is gonna be there when Ring of Honor finally comes back. They'll probably have AEW do something. So man, people are gonna be broke as joke. I will never say the Kobe Arena, but no offense to Kobe Bryant and his family. I respect what he did for the NBA. I'm an NBA fan myself. But here's the thing, to quote the shirt that Greg made available on my site. Thank you very much for that, sir, by the way. The Lakers pay rent to AEG. You know AEG owns? The Kings. So Lakers pay us rent. So I will say the crypt, because crypto.com arena is too much to say, and I have very little faith in the crypto thing lasting past the 20-year contract, if that. So yeah. Anyway, kind of went off tangent. Sorry about that.
So,
but,
whenever a team from that arena makes the postseason, are they going to call it Tales from the Crypto?
From the crypto, one of our former ice girls, who is now a field sideline ringside arena, ringside reporter. There we go. Carlin said we should have the Crypt Keeper do our voiceovers instead of Cartman, and if we don't, then we're losing a major marketing battle right there, because the Crypt Keeper being that guy is perfect for that new name. Yeah. So
it's the gravest challenge trying to get him there. All right.
We need to watch along that pay-per-view just because of how good it actually is. Surprisingly enough, it's actually a good show.
Yeah, Survivor Series 91 is a fantastic show.
It really is.
Like top to bottom. It's like there's so many things that happen on that show that have long-lasting effects in WWE.
You figure it's Flair's first WWF pay-per-view match ever.
And you had,
and he survived.
Yeah, he survived, kind of in a BS way, but he survived.
He's a sole survivor as far as I remember. So maybe him and DiBiase, but definitely him.
No, it was just Flair.
Well, see, there you go. He had the gravest challenge with Hogan and Undertaker, which, again, that's Undertaker's first world title.
You had a team get swept in Survivor Series.
Yes.
You had the beginning of the tease of the Rockers breaking up.
Yes. You had the rare 6-man. Did they end up making that 6-man elimination, or was it just because they took Sid and Jake out, they just made it the 6-man tag? I forget now.
No, it was a 6-man elimination.
Yeah, it was supposed to be Sid, the Legion of Doom, and not the Boss Man. Who the hell was that fourth guy?
No, it was a Boss Man. It was the Legion of Doom and the Boss Man. It was supposed to be the Legion of Doom, Boss Man, and
Sid. No.
Savage.
Well, Randy was trying to get reinstated.
Yeah,
and then when Jake sucked the snake on him, he ended up getting moved to Tuesday, which was a bullshit pay-per-view, but it was whatever. And then that was Jake, the Natural Disasters, and IRS. That's what it was. There we go. Yeah. God Almighty, crazy. Sorry, but yeah, we went on a tangent there. But yeah, that's a release, and you figure, like you said, that was they had been like going kind of back and forth a little bit of the Rockers, but that was the one where they really like Sean and Marty were shoving. It was boiling over at that point. And I know Hogan politics. Can we just not have one show I'm on the air where we don't run on Hulk Hogan? Please, can we please do that for once? Christ. I'm gonna go away.
I do want to say,
Jesus,
of all the schoolboys in wrestling history, that one was so weak. It was so bad.
The whole finish is bullshit. Like if Hogan politics that finish, he's a dumb politician.
But on the plus side, the good thing that came out of that match, the 1992 Royal Rumble.
Yes.
So
absolutely. And again, that is, we've watched it together. You've ranked it. It is the GOAT. So.
Yep.
So.
And if you want to see where that ranked, you can go to the Greg Cherry brand and search the definitive Royal Rumble collection, which probably after this year's, I'm going to add 2021s and 2022s just to like update the list.
Right.
Because I have 2021s ranked. I just never did the video about it.
Oh, okay.
So I want to like make an addendum to it. It's like, okay, here's where 2021 and 2022 rank, like total.
Well, I figure that's a Saturday show. We can talk about Wednesday and the Great Cherry Show afterwards.
We could.
There you go.
That'll be a segment because football season will be.
We'll give you a
pretty
12
close
pick.
over.
Yeah, matter of fact, there was a question earlier about Super Bowl predictions. Again, the season's been so batshit, it's hard to tell what's going to happen tomorrow or the rest of the weekend.
There's the AFC seems wide open to me.
Yes.
Like there's still 5 games left in the season. And anybody who's like in the hunt or like on the verge of being in the playoffs, still by some cluster could still end up as the number 1 seed. Like that close in the AFC. NFC is a little bit more of a runaway with the Cardinals.
Yes. Well, as far as the number 1 spot, but again, you've got the wrong picture, dumbass. There we go. Like you said, Washington's scraping. The Cowboys are not the definitive NFC East winner yet, man. Washington is still nipping at our heels, even at the record they're at. So
you really don't have to worry that much about the Eagles and the Giants. It's more the football team.
I'm okay with that, by the way. Screw them both. You know what? Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, and Ruben, by the way, who I got to see when I met the Outsiders. Maybe the show before that. It is the greatest Royal Rumble of all time. It is, and
or is it?
This guy needs to, have his donation come in so we can freaking. Oh, I know Ari did come in. I'm sorry, but no, the greatest Royal Rumble. It's definitely the longest. It's definitely the most prolific.
The longest.
It's the most prolific amount of people, but I don't know about the greatest one of all time.
It's. Did I rank that better than? Yeah, I did rank it better than 2011 because I thought 2011 sucks so hard.
2011, it seemed so much slower paced than the greatest one. That's the thing. Like it seemed like it was taking 40 people for forever. It took forever.
Yeah,
and just and the winners cash in or whatever we're gonna call it was just such a botch. It was the opening match, and Edge just whooped that ass. Like, okay, so.
Well, I mean, it was a half-hour match, so I wouldn't say that he just whooped on him.
I had zero confidence in him winning, whereas, Miz and Cena, obviously I had a question. I had zero confidence in Alberto becoming the world champion that night. I really did.
I will say this, and this is the first time I've brought this up with anybody. I am doing a Royal Rumble related project, I will say, that you guys will see at some point. I'm not sure when it's going to come out because I'm still working on it, but I will let you know when that day comes. And that's the only tease you get. That's the only tease you get.
This is the shoot. I had no idea what the hell he's talking about.
I haven't told anybody about this.
No, I have no idea.
Well, I think I told Jen, but I haven't told anybody. Like,
that's your wife. It's a little bit different scenario. So,
and the other person who is involved knows.
Okay.
And that's all I'll say. But yeah, it's getting to that time. It's getting to Rumble time, and I, for one, am excited because it's the best pay-per-view of the year. I don't care what anybody says because it's the Rumble. It will always be my favorite. I even thought last year's Rumbles were pretty good. Like, even without the fans. Like, I was concerned how it was going to go, but they put out some solid Rumble matches.
It did. It was a good show. We'll definitely do a Rumble preview on Greg's channel with my channel instead of me side along no DQ because Greg's got to have a Rumble prediction show. He has to.
I think the Greg Cherry show before the Rumble is just going to be a Rumble special.
Might as well.
Because unless the Steelers somehow make the Super Bowl, which I'm not holding my breath for.
Right.
If the Steelers somehow make the Super Bowl, then I'll work that in. But the Rumble preview show is definitely going to take precedent.
Yeah, and it's like Josh said, it's one of those things where when it gets to Rumble season, people start getting energized again. They start, huh? What happened?
I think I still have that connected. You can go ahead and talk, Jeff. I'm just.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's okay, JJ. We'll use your comment in the Q&A because now he asked me. Damn it, here he asked me out there. He's gonna be a schmuck about it. But anyway, So yeah, Josh was saying that, you know, the Rumble gets everybody energized, the spirits are renewed, everybody gets. I'll tell you what, throwing this day one thing in there is interesting because now we have a 3-week build essentially from pay per view to pay per view, but the pay per view after that is the Royal Rumble. So, you know, it's gonna be one of those where we get a fresh coat of paint on the year, which is always good. I will say this as far as pay-per-views coming up, because like I said, we've got the next pay-per-view on the docket, except for the super special or whatever, the winter's coming thing next week with Dynamite, which Brian might be world champion again, which would be awesome. We'll see how it goes.
Do you think they're gonna take the title off of Hangman that soon?
It's not about taking it off Hangman, it's about throwing a curveball at everybody, because every world champion in that company has been champion for a hell of a long time. So, okay, well, Adam will get one too. And then, oh, wait, no, because Brian's officially gone freaking evil dragon and he's going to kick everybody's freaking head off. So I wouldn't be opposed to either scenario. Either Adam retains or Brian becomes a world champion again. Because in that point, Brian will be the only guy to have held the Ring of Honor world title, both WWE world titles as far as when they were in play, and the AEW championship. And he was supposed to win this until he had his eye freaking socket ripped out pretty much in his match against Mauricio in Ring of Honor. So, you know, he's still one of the greatest of all time. So don't be surprised. Anyway, where I was going with the day one thing, I'm very glad that I have my anniversary show that same day, because I'm starting at noon. And I'm opening that little bit of the bubbly. I intend to be fully tanked for that pay-per-view because it does look good on paper, but man, just another freaking pay-per-view.
Well, you figure we don't have, other than the NXT show that just happened, we don't have a December pay-per-view.
Well, they have day one because they basically canceled out TLC, which I'm not opposed to. Just have a TLC be a match on a pay-per-view. Seriously, we've had that discussion ad nauseum. Get rid of the gimmick pay-per-views. Just bring the gimmick matches back, you know, on special occasions, please.
The only gimmick pay-per-view that works for me is the Rumble. I don't care about anything else.
Well, right, because the Rumble's, you know, established. Well, you know, it's, you know, the Chamber bounced around until they put it in February. Hell in a Cell bounced around until they put it in October. Then all of a sudden it's in June this year. Like, what the shit? So it's weird. And again, JJ and I talked about this on our Hell in a Cell special we did on Dads. Hell in a Cell feels so insignificant these days. It just does. You know, it's become a caricature of itself, and they need to scale back on the amount of matches.
They need to go a full year without using a Hell in a Cell match, because you remember this year they had a Hell in a Cell match on SmackDown, 2 at the pay-per-view, and 1 on Raw. It's like, yeah, good for crying out loud. Like, how in the world?
They had 4 Hell in a Cell matches in freaking 3 days. Like, the hell? 4 days, excuse me, because that's Saturday. There was one Saturday. Although some indie show could have had a freaking Tower of Doom match for all we know. So could have been one there too. Yeah. We just don't know about it.
I'll tell you what. We're gonna dive into some weird laws.
Yes.
I know we talked about Doom Wrestling trivia discussion, because I didn't get to discuss this with you last week. We're halfway through the first round. Another match happening tomorrow with Nico Rigoli and the Professor Nick Harrison. So check that out tomorrow.
The Professor Nick Harrison, huh?
Professor Nick Harrison. Yeah, he's the one with over
that one.
Yeah, he has over 800,000 followers on TikTok, so that'll be fun.
Well, I can't compete with that because I have no TikTok.
But your thoughts so far on the first round? Do you want to talk about the surprise that happened in the last match that aired, or
go ahead by all means? It was definitely a unexpected. I'm so glad I'm not participating. Because it's like NFL, it's completely bad shit now. Like there's no certainty of anything now at this point.
There's no. I feel like, having watched all the first round matches, I have an idea who's going to win.
Right.
But I thought Cass was going to be in the finals, and he's gone first round. So who knows?
Yeah. It's funny. I almost caught Cass the other day. It's like, I'm glad I didn't. I'll probably catch him early like I would catch Shivani today. Just again, you know, you think when I'm involved, I'm going to go like, I lost toward the end. You know, Cass is out first round. Like, what the hell? Just
I mean, at least when you went out first round last year, it was 2 casts. So it's not like
right. Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
K-Zone's
That
good.
was
Don't get me wrong. K-Zone has some knowledge. I mean, he was in the bump tournament for a reason, and he did well in that. I just did not expect him to overtake Cass.
No, and me and Cass was by design. You had to take out one of the ringers, for lack of a better term. That way, it wasn't so. They're definitely going to win. They're going to meet in the finals. It was going to be a thing. So
yeah.
Nope. So I'm like I said, I'm looking forward to tomorrow. Looking forward to the rest of the season. Part of me would love to see, what happens as far as who's left at the end. Part of me wants to see if Brett will actually, keep this donation stuff up and just, throw 100 in there just to get himself a guaranteed opportunity. Because we talk about it every week. He's donated so much money by now. It's like, Jesus.
Well, I believe he said as much. Even if he wins the tournament and like somehow comes up short against me, I think he would donate 100 just to get another opportunity. Right. And the thing is with Brett, well, his matches haven't aired yet, so I won't say anything. I've recorded his first round match, and that's all I'll say about that. I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but so far the matches that have aired, Tempest advanced.
Yeah, which I expected.
I expected that too. No offense to
no.
Yeah, no offense to Chris LaBelle, but Tempest knows his stuff.
Yeah.
Sadie Nyongi, who was on Quizlemania. I was very happy with that. That was a good match. I mean, that was
one I watched as you were taping it. That was really good. That was that was good. I enjoyed that one.
SP3 from True Heel Heat and Wrestling Daily. Sadie Nyongi also from Wrestling Daily. SP3 did very well for himself. He advanced, and then, as we said, K-Zone advanced. So So it's gonna be K-Zone and Sadie Nyongi. We know that match is already set for the quarterfinals.
Yes.
And actually, that's the match I recorded before we went on the air, so I know who won that one.
I came into the studio and he's recording it. Oh, he's recording. Oh, look who he's recording. So kind of I didn't come in there now that he said what he said. I came in for that one. That was cool, but I'd rather just be surprised all the rest of the way, to be honest with you. So. Somebody got busted.
Well, I feel like that was a spam comment. So,
I
which they know you normally wait till after the show's off the air to send the spam comments. Now you're doing it live. Come on, man.
Must have been on my channel.
That's possible. All right, let's get into some weird laws from the state of Hawaii. There aren't many, so we'll get through this quick, and then we'll get into your questions. You can still donate. I'm not as tired as I was. From the jumping jacks earlier. I can catch my
last words though.
So here it is. Hawaii. It is illegal to appear in public wearing only swimming trunks.
That seems very counterproductive to society in Hawaii.
Okay. So
here's my thing.
When you're swimming.
So you can't wear only shorts. Can you wear only a grass skirt? That's the key. Because if people only wearing grass skirts, those are much more transparent and much more dangerous. So, just saying.
Also in Hawaii, it is illegal to own a mongoose without a permit.
That's good. I'm not sure what else to say about that, but sure. Mongoose needs a permit, but a snake to fight the mongoose you can have. Okay, no problem.
This one I saw and was confused by initially, but the more I thought about it, it makes sense.
Okay.
All residents may be fined as a result of not owning a boat.
Okay.
See, initially I thought it was strange, but I was like, it's an island. So you need a way to get off the island in case something happens.
True.
So like I started, I was like, I don't know about that. But then I was like, okay. All right. Yeah. It seems lame.
You need an escape plan, so it makes sense.
Billboards are outlawed in Hawaii.
What? So the biggest movie star in the world can't have freaking advertisement for his projects on the homeland. That's weird.
I guess not.
That's bizarre. I would ask Dwayne about that, like for real. Like, what do you think about that, Dewey?
Yeah. And finally, coins are not allowed to be placed in one's ears.
Now, see, that's not right because you had the whole dad behind the ear trick. That's cute. I enjoy doing that when he was this big. Now that he's taller than me, it's stupid, but give me real money, Dad. Okay.
Yeah, like I said, quick, painless Hawaii laws.
I love it. I dig it. Moving right along. That's
it. Wednesday Q&A. We're going to hit a few of these, and then we'll get you guys off the Dynamite.
Yes.
I feel like this show is like the we're like the tour guide where we're about to drop you off at your stop. Like we're the monorail before we get to Disney World.
I like that. That's cool.
I figured you'd appreciate that reference.
Although unfortunately, we're not in Atlanta. We're in Jacksonville, so it's not quite as cool.
Yeah, it's still Florida. It's fine.
At least not the Detroit Lions. Anyway, but they won.
Poor Vikings. Not really.
Yeah, not really. Yeah, screw it, man.
Let's see here.
Mongoose bicycle. No, not Mongoose bicycle. Although you should probably have a permit if you have a bike or at least some sort of equipment, at least, because that's safer. Let's see. Again, Super Bowl picks. It's still batshit, so I don't know.
I mean, we can do the Super Bowl picks like as of now, but they're by no means accurate.
No, I mean, I say the Cowboys because nobody is people week one were telling me bullshit. And here we are, 5 weeks ago, and I'm going, they're still on the hunt. So I definitely have the Cowboys in the NFC. AFC, God.
I'm going to say the Cardinals just because like it's the cheap way out of the NFC because they're the top team. So yeah, AFC seems so wide open though.
Yeah, and it has all year. That's the weird thing. It's funny. The Patriots, even without Brady, they're still atop the AFC as of now. Playoffs rise.
They only threw 3 passes on Monday night.
I know. It's crazy.
3 in this NFL.
That's ridiculous if that's happening.
And they won.
I know. You know what? People have been crapping on me for saying this all year. I'm going to go with Tennessee in the AFC. Just because.
You know what? I would say watch out for the Colts. Because I feel like the Titans have kind of lost a step a little bit. Maybe I'm wrong, but the Colts are kind of like slowly and kind of quietly moving their way up in the AFC. So I wouldn't Cardinals Colts Super Bowl maybe. Obviously, I would love the Steelers to be there, but they need to do some work.
I mean,
but mathematically, they can still win the number 1 seed. They won't.
As of Tuesday, they're not even in the top 7. But 5 weeks is an ugly thing in the AFC right now. So,
this guy experienced donated another $1. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
What happened to the moving promo picture before each match in WWE? The superstars moving, then the Flash. Yeah, we know what you're talking about.
I always loved that, man. That was always cool.
They brought it back for like match buildups for pay-per-views, which is kind of neat, but I wish they would show them on TV. Like I miss those. Those were awesome because it allowed the characters to like have like a small little layer to their characters by doing those intros. You see Shawn Michaels doing the whole.
It was like I'm actually binge watching Late 01 right now, post Survivor Series, and just seeing that first graphic with Jericho with the tape on his head with both belts come into the frame. It's like, oh, I remember that. It's so weird watching that stuff because I was at that show the night after Vengeance in Anaheim where he defended against Austin in the cage. So just watching that unfold on TV 20 years after watching it unfold, 100 feet in front of me, it's like, whoa. It was cool. But yeah, I miss that era. I remember the first pay-per-view they did it. It was Unforgiven 01 because SummerSlam had those god-awful graphics that, my God, if you try to screen cap those and use them for dad's purposes, awful. Unforgiven, they weren't HD yet, but they look good as HD when they stopped. Beautiful.
Yeah.
So good stuff.
I miss them too. I wish they would use them like when they used them like later in the Ruthless Aggression era when they had like the 2 Raw towers and like those weren't as cool as the ones where you just had like the straight shot of both of them, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like just the straight shot of both of them doing like the whole. and then the pause.
Yes. One of my favorites is the Triple H Shawn Michaels SummerSlam match, because Triple H looks freaking like return date jacked, and Shawn's just like just so tank top and just, I'm gonna whoop his ass. He beat me up and screw him, and it was great.
One of my favorites was Eddie Guerrero for his match against Brock Lesnar, because he was kind of like,
he was like whatever. And I honestly think Brock's as champion that run is the worst he ever had. He looked so goofy with the belt like held up here, like oh God, Brock, just put the belt down or over your shoulder or something. Christ almighty. As opposed to when he won it, when he was all like, Jesus.
Yeah.
And Heyman's didn't change. He was like this for 6 months.
Yeah. This guy donated another $1. Appreciate it.
Wow.
Do you see Bobby Lashley getting a second run with the WWE title? Vince needs to make more stars. And why did we have several superstars on the same level back in the Attitude Era and less in the Ruthless Aggression Era, but still way more than, I don't know what that means.
So way more with what?
He says, why did we have several superstars on about the same level back in the Attitude Era and less in the Ruthless Aggression Era, but still way more than now? I'm guessing what he's saying is it seemed like during the Attitude Era, there was way more mid-carders and like upper mid-carders, and now it just seems like there's a few main event talent and then the rest of the guys.
Well, you have to remember this guy. Even in the Attitude Era, when you had Rock and Hunter and Undertaker, it was freaking Austin, and then Rock and Triple H, Undertaker, and Foley to a certain extent, and then everybody else. I mean, that's really what it became in the Attitude Era. Ruthless Aggression, you have to remember, that was still feeding off the Attitude Era. So you still had Austin for a while. You still had Rock for a while. You had Triple H for a long damn while. He's still around, for Christ's sakes. You had Undertaker, doing the American Badass. At the time, he was doing the Big Evil gimmick because he had just turned on JR. I rewatched that, by the way. There was more of Vince's ass on TV than I ever needed to see on that thing where Undertaker helped JR. Wow. I mean, full on bare ass shots. Unnecessary. And you still had Vince being the lead heel for a while, even though he was, they had GMs for shows. But he's right. There weren't as many guys that you could see that could branch off like Austin did, like The Rock certainly did. In the Ruthless Aggression Era, it was all about, the Ruthless Aggression Era really became about the LVW4. Orton, Batista, Brock for a couple years, and Cena. And to an extent, Shelton Benjamin, because he was part of that class too. And he was a wow guy for Raw for a couple of years because of all he could do in the ring.
Still think he should.
I think they didn't pull the trigger on Shelton at all, and they should have. And I think they pulled the trigger on Van Dam too late. I said that, and I mean it. I've said that for years, and I still stand by that.
I will say this: if they gave Shelton the right mouthpiece, not Heyman, if they gave him the right
or his mama,
or his mama, Shelton could still be a world champion.
Yep.
If they gave him the right person to talk for him, Shelton could still go in the ring. Like, he is still that athlete that was in WWE 20 years ago.
Yeah. It bugs that they're with the Hurt Business, but they're not with Lashley and MVP. It's like, that makes no damn sense to me.
I don't
like, and again, MVP could be that mouthpiece for Shelton. MVP, I love MVP. People crap on him, including my dad. I love Montel. He's fantastic.
How you can hate MVP?
Yeah, it's what. And then since I watched both recently, I'll go ahead and answer this. You can only watch one of these two movies the rest of your life. Which do you choose? Santa with Muscles or Santa's Sleigh? All right, Jay. Just for you, gun to head, I'm still gonna root for the Hogan movie. I did watch both. For the record, I expected both to suck. Santa with Muscles is a god-awful friggin' movie. It is one of the worst things I've ever seen. It's up there at Superman 4 level. It is bad. Santa's Sleigh I expected to suck. Number one, it's Goldberg playing Santa as a killer in a horror movie. And it was bad. So, but I'll still pick Hogan any day because it's Hogan. And again, I'm trying to be objective like you asked me to, Jay, but Santa's Sleigh is just so bad, and I knew it would be bad. So if I have one tape to burn in the library to burn, it's going to be that. I'm going to watch Hogan, even though it was a horrible, probably his worst movie. I mean, really, it was bad.
All right. And that will get us to the end of the show. Thank you very much for joining us. Go enjoy Dynamite. And we will see you tomorrow for Wrestling Trivia Challenge. And for Jeff Meacham, I am Greg Cherry. We will see you next week right here on The Greg Cherry Show.